Hey guys, Scheming Off the Grid here. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night has finally arrived, and we've spent the last couple days neck deep in this game. In today's episode, we're going to let you know if this Metroidvania-style spiritual successor to the beloved Symphony of the Night is worth your purchase. What are we drinking today?
We're drinking Francis Coppola Pinot Noir.
Why are we drinking wine in this episode?
Because Smash JT is a bad influence.
Alright, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself some red wine, and stay tuned for this episode of Gaming Off the Grid.
Shout out to Gaming Off the Grid. You got caged.
Alright, here we go. One of our most anticipated games of 2019 has arrived in the form of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. We've been hot on the trail of this Kickstarter project since the early days.
Yes, Curse of the Moon came out, and it was like a little taste of the Bloodstained universe, and it was so cool because it was in the style of like an NES style 8-bit game, but now Ritual of the Night is out, and that's more of like a Symphony of the Night style game, which is so cool because the developer of Symphony of the Night helped develop this game.
Yes, Koji Igarashi is on board with this project, and the Metroidvania style is alive and well. Actually, they're coining it Igavania. Right?
Igavania, which is so cool. It's like Metroidvania mixed with Iragashi. Igavania.
Yeah, it's really cool. And one thing that you had said when we first got into this is if you are not accustomed to this style of gameplay, you've got to give this game a little bit of time, because it takes time. It seems a little overwhelming at first because you can craft weapons and level up your character, and it kind of almost has that little bit of an RPG element, kind of.
It does, because you level up as you go, you know, based on who you kill, and then plus you have to craft weapons, you have to craft armor, you have to craft food. Plus there's side quests, you like help people to get other weapons. So it has that RPG feel, but it's not quite an RPG. I'm not a huge RPG fan, but this game is so sweet.
Yeah, and so I think it warrants some explanation for anybody who is not accustomed to that style of game. So we've played, you know, a lot of Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, so it's a non-linear game, so to speak. So it's still got that side-scrolling mechanic, but you can go up, down, backwards. And all of those things you have to do to find your way. It's almost like a maze, and you unlock pieces of the map as you go. It's very confusing. There is some backtracking, but as Robert had said, give it time, because once you start connecting the dots, it is a lot of fun. But I do think for a new gamer, it would be kind of an intimidating experience.
It is. I did not know what to expect when this game came out, and when we first jumped in, we did a live stream of it. I was like, okay, I am so lost, I'm so confused. I'm used to playing Curse of the Moon. This is way different. It's different in a good way, but I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to craft. There's just so many things you can do. It's really freaking sweet. I cannot stop playing Ritual tonight.
Yeah, the cool thing is you can kind of customize your experience. So some people may like a certain weapon set or, you know, outfit, armor, etc. So that's what's really neat about this game. Now, this game, the main protagonist here is Miriam, who is kind of second fiddle. I mean, most people's favorite character, I think, in Curse of the Moon, but she was the second unlockable character.
Yes, Miriam was my favorite character in Curse of the Moon, but she wasn't the main person. Zangetsu was the main person in Curse of the Moon, and Zangetsu, isn't he one of the bosses?
He is, and guess who his voice is?
Ooh.
How about I help you out? Damn it, Meryl!
Yeah, you ever heard of Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah, David Hayter is the voice actor for Zangetsu, and it literally, I was freaking out.
Dude, I had no idea. For being a Kickstarter game, and for being, I knew it was one of the most bad Kickstarter games, but for having his voice for one of these bosses, when he started talking, I almost pooped myself.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
It was so great.
I knew what you are. That ghastly air about you. You reek of sorcery, Shardbinder.
And he even talks like in that question form a little bit. You know, he doesn't say this, but it's like, Metal Gear. You know, that type
just has question marks on everything he says. It's so freaking sweet.
Yeah, so a ton of fun was had when we found that out, and we were so jacked up. But So this whole episode is about, is this game worth it? You know, it's not a full-on review because we have not beat it. We've made it through the first 3.5 stages, I would say, and we're fairly well leveled up. We've really figured out kind of the nuts and bolts of the game. So the whole point of this episode is to determine, is it worth it for the casual gamer, the hardcore gamer, and everyone in between. As a huge Symphony of the Night fan, and I would call myself that as well, what are your thoughts as far as this game being worth the wait and worth the spend?
Oh man, for being a Kickstarter project, this is exactly what I wanted. The load times do suck, which kind of sucks, and there are some bugs, like version 1.02, if you got it when it first came out, there are some weird chest issues, like, oh, they're already open,
yes,
which is weird.
That caught our buddy Brian Newland, who's been on the channel several times, right in the crosshairs. So he started the game before that patch, and then he gets to a point where chests are open, and it basically halts his progress. So he had to start the game back over.
So that kind of sucks, but it is a Kickstarter project, so I don't give it that much of a blame on that, but the load times do suck. That was a big issue for us, and like coming out of load times, it was a little slow. But other than that, the visuals are incredible. The gameplay is incredible. This is the game we've been waiting for.
Yeah, you brought up so many great points there. You gotta understand what you're getting with this game. This is not a AAA release, folks. This is a Kickstarter campaign. It is a crowd-funded project. I would say it turned out really freaking good. The graphics are great. There are a few moments of like where there's a little bit of slowdown. You mentioned the progression issue where it kind of, you get bottlenecked there when the
save,
which hopefully that buffs out for anybody who starts the game after that. I don't think we have uncovered all the bugs. I'm sure there are plenty more. But if you're a Symphony of the Night fan, if you're a Castlevania fan, or if you're someone who's always been like, man, I kind of want to get into that Metroidvania style of game, this is it. You have to play this game. Right now, as it stands today, this is easily one of my favorite games we've picked up this year. And there's been a lot of good games.
It has blown my mind. And it's crazy because we're a co-op channel, and this game is not co-op yet. But they said that Xbox and PlayStation co-op will come eventually because they reached that stretch goal in Kickstarter, which is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, so however that's going to look, which we have no idea, but that would just be another wrinkle to a great game. This is not your modern game, folks, where you're going to be playing online with a bunch of friends, so on and so forth. This is just a good, nuts and bolts Metroidvania or Igavania style game that I just think needs to be played. I hope that modern gamers who had never got to experience that style of game will give this game a chance and kind of relive that awesome style of gameplay, which, you know, if you're a big fan of those type of games, it's kind of slim pickings out there.
It is. And I love how there's roots to Curse of the Moon. Like, you play as Miriam, which is a second character in Curse of the Moon, and one of the bosses in Zegetsu, and they reference Alfred, which is one of the worst characters in Curse of the Moon. So it's cool how they tied the characters together. It's like, oh, you know the characters if you played the original 8-bit game they released. And it's just cool how it's all together, and man, this game is incredible, and I recommend it to everyone.
Yeah,
this is so sweet.
I think this whole project I would recommend to anyone. If you want to kind of revisit a Castlevania-esque type of series, go with Bloodstained. It's easy to get on the modern consoles, and I think you would really, really enjoy it. And if you're a Castlevania fan, it's a no-brainer. You gotta play these games. So we did something really weird in this episode, thanks to our buddy Smash JT. We are drinking a wine. Full disclosure, we know very little about wine. I enjoy it, but I don't know a lot about it. So we are going to talk about this Francis Coppola Pinot Noir. Go ahead and start it off. What do you think of this?
I know that it's a red wine because it's a red liquid. I know that it kind of has like an oaky afterbirth.
Sort of an oaky afterbirth.
What was that?
This is a really smooth wine. I thank Smash JT for recommending this to us. It's a really delicious introduction to wine. I feel like there's not much aggression. There's a little bit of aggression, but I've had a lot of red wines, you know, growing up in the church, you know, that's what you drink on Sundays. So I'm kind of used to red wines, and this is a kind of simple, easy to drink red wine, but it has really good flavor. It lingers for a while.
So it's a very fruit-forward wine. I'm getting a lot of like a dried cranberry, maybe even like a, I don't know, pomegranate. It's kind of acidic, but not overly acidic. This would fall at kind of in a dry category for me. Kind of dry, maybe off dry a little bit. And the way this kind of went down is we're just chatting back and forth with Smash JT. I can't remember if it was in a comment section, a live stream, or whatever, but we asked him for a good red budget wine that he would recommend, because he knows his wine.
Yes, he does. He lives in freaking Wine Valley. He's from California. So it was like, Smash JT, please give us a good wine recommendation, and he hit it out of the park.
Yep, total fantabulous recommendation here by Smash JT. If you haven't checked out his channel, the guy uploads more videos than is even humanly possible. It's unreal. His coverage on video game news is unbelievable. Got great personality, great energy, and it was honestly a channel that we both followed way before we started this. It was a great inspiration to us, and the guy has been so good to us. We can't even thank him enough. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's just awesome, and thank you even more for a delicious wine. So to wrap things up, we really feel like this is a game you need to pick up, especially if you own a PS4. That's the way to play this game.
Yeah.
It feels just right. It feels so nostalgic to play it on a Sony controller because Symphony of the Night was a PS1 game. So that's just the way it needs to be.
And currently it's not available yet on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know why Nintendo is being weird with their red tape and stuff. I know, Nintendo's Nintendo, we get it. But so if you have an Xbox One or PS4, pick this game up. And what's super cool is there is co-op coming eventually. I don't know when that is, but it was part of the stretch goal for the Kickstarter, which is super cool. So Nintendo Switch users, sucks to be you.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to come to the Switch, just PS4 and Xbox One. So anyways, fingers crossed that that comes to fruition. In the description below, check out our social medias, and we also have some merchandise over at tpublic.com. So you might want to go grab some. All the cool kids are doing it. Actually, full disclosure, we're blown away by all the support and merchandise we've sold so far.
Thank you so much.
It's amazing. So you guys are incredible. We always appreciate you tuning in and subscribe to the channel. Keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid.
Alright, fucking take 85.
All right, here we go. It's hard because this you can never see this. You never know if you can see it.
I know, because of the glare.
Let me just take this on for a second.
Just to see if you can.
Yeah, I want to know like what angle.
I'm just guessing get as close as you can. That's really good.
It's about right there.
Just don't look at the TV.
Yep.